So happy Tu B'Shvat. I hope you had a good day and you could feel the shift from winter.
Hold on, Uranus.
So happy Tu B'Shvat. I hope you had a good day.
I actually think we were muted for a while, but I think we're okay now. I'm sorry about that. We were muted for a while.
Sorry. Okay, so do something. Teach.
Do something.
Talk about something.
I'm going to dance.
Well,
I really feel bad about that.
Well, do something then. Stop playing with your phone.
No, I'm trying to make sure we got sound. We didn't have sound. Oh, look.
Well,
I really feel bad about that. Okay, we're okay. All right, I'm sorry. I think we didn't have sound on for a minute. So, listen, I didn't realize you were such a naturalist, but I'm going to read your piece. You'll like this. I'm only going to read the last part of it. It's a piece I think I wrote. I may have written it today.
Okay.
So it's fresh. It's fresh. Oh yes. Okay. Now, yes. See, we were quiet for a while. Oh my God. I'm so ashamed of that.
What, that you didn't put the thing on right?
Yeah, I chose the wrong deal, and please forgive me. Forgive me. Forgive me. Forgive me. So anyway, we're here now, and what can I tell you? We're on it. Whoops. So I was talking to my Buddhist plumber about detachment. Oh, not that one. That's one I wrote today. And an insight I had that I can't own, it may belong to this stage of life that we're in. You know what I'm saying? What I call the arc or the episode, the one I'm living anyway. When younger, we wrestled with our attachments.
Yeah.
And I remember what I did. I had gone to the literature in pursuit of the wisdom of attachment and detachment.
Mm-hmm.
And I read deeply in it. And it's difficult. But you know what? At this stage of life, it's easier to detach and move on. Whether this is an axiom or not, I can't say.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it is.
Yeah.
My Buddhist plumber replied, "Beware of all axioms." He then broke a fine ceramic drum I had left on the shelf. "Practice," he said.
You know, I think there's just a lot of wisdom in that. And I think that for people who aren't there yet, you know, at this last arc of life, it's important for us to tell you it gets easier.
It does.
It really gets easier
To detach and move on.
Yeah,
It really does.
It's easier. And, you know, all the things you worry about, what people have to say about your, you know, the approvals and the non-approvals and your name and your, I don't know, just all the things you get attached to. They just don't feel important anymore. You know it's important. And it's so much easier. And it, yeah.
Yep.
And you don't feel a victim of other people's schmutz as much.
You get that right, sister.
Right?
I'm going to tell you about an end of a piece
Okay.
that I wrote. I'm not going to tell you the beginning. It's too hard, but I'm going to tell you the end of the piece. I was having a conversation with somebody. These conversations I have, they're conversations at the edge. So we had this conversation about the keeper of the stories, you know, the teller of stories, and how difficult some stories are, and you have to be careful of who you give over stories to, which the right environment and the right people, etc. And I knew this resonated for me. Some of my teachers had brought down beauty that was boundaried, I'll call it, in the sense that it wasn't for everyone. They also taught me that I had an obligation to share what they gave me. Remember Lehman? He made us
That's what he said.
promise that we would
That we
teach it,
give it over.
what he gave us.
Mm-hmm.
We had an obligation to share what they gave me, but with discretion.
Yeah.
I was again thinking in the language of Leviticus, the language of pure and impure, tahor and tameh in Hebrew, uncontaminated and contaminated. And the caution is to protect the pure from the inevitable drift toward contamination. Resist. So much to resist. And artistic or narrative or sacred purity is not so different from other varieties of purity in public space, public scope, also other acts of resistance. Purity of purpose applies to politics and to forms of culture, to friendship and love and service, especially now in the era of etc.
Hmm.
We must be diligent but cautious. I learned this from one of my teachers. I was also taught to launch, to release your story. It longs to be told. Release it when it is cooked. And for some stories, even before it is cooked. Betoch lo lishma bo lishma. I hear my teacher saying in Yiddish inflected Hebrew, meaning something like within something that is not of pure intention comes pure intention. He said it to illustrate the principle that for some activities, even before it's ready, you lift it up. The activity itself changes consciousness. Even if it's not entirely pure, even if the intention is not clear, let it out. The action changes the creation. Also, the creator had the idea. What a crazy idea.
Mm.
So I was talking to Maimonides, my go-to guy. Might we apply this principle to godliness? What if creation was not quite ready, but the world was urging to be created?
Mm-hmm.
The act of creation itself moves the intention toward ascendance and formation. And the rest of history, it's in the motion of ascent. But history has taught that the arc of ascent is not inevitable. Something beautiful and true and just needs lift. It needs lift. The angel of history ascending, cheered on by loyalists, the posse of pure souls working the vineyards. Interesting idea, said Maimonides. Of course, I had thought about that. Maimonides said, I prefer the image of the silkworm, creating for itself its garment, spinning its cocoon, I think it's called. What's the purpose? To express itself or
Mm-hmm.
to actualize its beauty. It's nature. This is how it works. I never thought of you as much of a naturalist, I said. You don't know me, said Maimonides.
That's a good one.
You only think
You only think you do. You only think you do.
you don't know me, said Maimonides.
You only think you do.
Oh my
Well,
God.
I like that idea that
Isn't that an interesting idea?
creation wasn't really ready, but
Wasn't ready.
there was an energy, an urgency,
An urgency.
something that made it happen even before it was ready.
Right, before it was cooked.
Before it was cooked. And so we are in a constant state of repair, a constant state of, and maybe that.
Maybe the repair is the wrong word, though,
Right. I was just thinking that it's not repair so much as
Action.
birthing.
Yeah. For
Actualizing,
birthing, yeah.
like the silkworm,
Yeah.
like actualizing something. We're not, and you know what? It's kind of the same thing we were just talking about. If you're impatient and if you're attached to the wrong things, you won't help it actualize. You'll be too impatient and you'll be attached to the wrong ideas and the wrong things. So you won't be able to let go and let it happen and just be there to nurture it and love it into creation, into what it's meant to be. There's like a child.
There's this line from the Midrash that I love that sometimes it appears is that when God's thinking about creation, the thought rises. The thought rises in God's mind about creation.
Yeah.
The thought rises in God's mind about creation. It's not done.
It's not done.
It's not cooked.
And it really pushes us to figure out what our place is in it. What is our place? It's very humbling. It's a very humbling idea.
Yeah.
Because it's not about us at all. It's about our ability to be detached from what we think and just be part of the process.
Yeah.
In just a beautiful, humble way.
Detach and move on.
Detach and move
and get
on.
at the work. Get
at the real work.
Yeah.
Just focus. If you find yourself really stuck like that.
Yeah. I love that silkworm image.
Yeah, because you get the silk. Yeah. It's not really a cocoon.
Express your beauty.
Yeah.
Let it express. What a shame to miss that, huh? Well, we've run out of time.
Well, thanks for joining us. It's late.
I said to Maimonides, I never thought of you as such a naturalist.
Tu b'Shvat. It's all about the trees.
You don't know me, said Maimonides.
Right. You only think you do.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. I would sing a song, but we've already run out of time.
Have a good night. Enjoy the
Monday. We'll be here.
Yeah.
God willing.
God willing.
Good night, little babies.
And it's President's Weekend. Ooh,
That's right.
You know what?
Oh, is that right?
I have a program Monday night.
Thanks. I'm sure everybody's interesting. Thanks a lot
We'll
for
talk.
coming. Bye.